Hello and welcome, all my beautiful, vibrant souls. Sorry if you can hear a little bit of like an echo in the sound. I'm in the middle of moving office spaces, so I'm kind of in transit and there's a bunch of stuff missing from the room now. But yes, hello and welcome. Welcome back to all my old friends. Hello and welcome to all of my lovely new friends who are here for the first time. For this week's Astrocast, woohoo! This is going to cover the week of April 4th through April 10th, 2022. I had to think about it. So for all of those, for all of you, excuse me, for those of you, you guys, I'm struggling. Okay. For everyone who's unfamiliar with astrocasting, I just want to give you a quick little rundown. As you can see, we have this lovely circular board going on, divided up into 12 segments, and these are the 12 houses of the zodiac, as well as the areas of natural rulership that they represent. And so what we do with astrocasting is we have this lovely grid, and I have these sweet little teeny tiny tarot cards. Look at them. Look at that. Can you see that? I always hold it out of the frame. So, and I reach in blindly. I know you guys can't see it, but I have my eyes shut. And I pull them out and I just cast them on the board. And then interpret them based on the areas of life that they land in, as well as the natural energy that they represent. I do want to make a quick notation that this is for, like I said, the natural areas of rulership for each of the 12 houses of the zodiac, but it's going to play out differently for everyone depending on your personal astrology. So, your house placements, your planetary placements, your interplanetary aspects, as well as just the circumstances of your own personal life journey. If you are interested in an Astrocast for yourself, I don't currently offer it as like a standard fixture in my shop, but please feel free to DM me because I'm happy to do custom readings. And if I get enough requests or like comments on these videos, I will probably add it as like a permanent addition to the shop family. So lots of cool stuff. Woohoo! We love it. Thinking if there's anything else. Is there anything else, you guys? I say nay. What about you? Okay, let's do this. Let's get into it. Excuse me. All right, so I hope you guys are having a good week. This feels like, I don't know, I feel something exciting going on here. You know, we're feeling it. We just had we're having the new moon in Aries currently. Okay, I guess that's it. So we have a lot of fresh new beginnings, a lot of invigorated energy. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, you guys, we already have so much to talk about. Okay, so let's see here. Wow. Okay. Sorry. I will eventually stop just saying, oh, wow. But right now that we're not there. Jesus. Okay. All right. Don't get discouraged for anyone who's familiar with the tarot. We're going to talk about it, but just hang in there. You know, just hang in there. So I want to mention, first of all, we have the moon showing up. So this could be a particularly strong message for Cancer or Pisces. Excuse me, or any areas of your chart where you have those placements particularly strong. Does not have to be. This is a general reading and applies to everybody. As I've said before in other Astrocasts, sometimes the messages are connected. Sometimes they aren't. You may find that some of the messages resonate with you, others don't. Excuse me. So just keep that in mind. Oh boy, where do I even begin? Okay. So for a lot of you, I'm feeling like these messages are going to be highly interconnected, excuse me, over the next week. And I say this for several reasons, but, you know, one of which is we have a lot of kind of similar energy, and it's challenging energy. We have the 9 of Swords showing up in the 6th house. We have the moon bordering the 8th and 9th house. Both of those can talk about fears pretty significantly. We also have, it's interesting, we have the 9, 10, and then the Ace of Swords, right? And as you see here, like there are some situations like this, right? In the 6th house, the 9 of Swords lands upright. And for me, I define upright as the bottom of the card is facing inward toward the center. So kind of like we see in the 3rd house with the 4 of Pentacles. So I guess I'll go through all of them. Sorry if you guys can hear the birds. Ah, there's my hair got onto the board. Okay, excuse me. This, to me, this week, I feel like is gonna be a week. This is gonna be a finale. So hold on to your butts, y'all. It looks a lot worse than I think it is. So we've had in the last few weeks, if you've been following and watching, excuse my burp, we've had a lot of energy around personal transformation. We've had a lot of energy. We've had a lot showing up in the 8th and 9th house in particular. And I make sure to shift the grid all the time. So I'm not just like, you know, casting and I end up casting in similar spots. I like to try to mix it up. But we keep having a lot showing up for the 8th and 9th house. There's been a huge energy of personal rebirth and transformation. And that makes sense with it being juxtaposed with Aries season. And this new moon in Aries, I feel like, is really, even though it's a new moon, I find that a lot of the energies that are coming out for us collectively almost have this full moon feeling to it as well. But there's this is a wonderful time to set intentions for new chapters, for that rebirth energy, for confidence, for taking any action steps toward new projects. This is just like new. But before the new can come in, this week is an out with the old week. And it's spicy. So this is the major kind of theme that I feel is going to tie a lot of stuff together. First and foremost, let's talk about the Four of Pentacles in the 3rd house. To me, in this particular situation, I feel like a lot of you have been waiting on some type of communication. This person that you're dealing with might be stonewalling, or, you know, this also can be you, because tarot goes both ways. There's a complete and utter lack of communication, and this is echoed with the Ace of Swords in reverse in the 10th house. I don't necessarily think these are connected, but we do see this kind of like lack of a communication, lack of movement forward. And this is the biggest thing I'm feeling like with the 3rd house. Now, with it being Pentacles, this could have something to do with your material stability. I'm not really getting that for most people. I'm feeling like there's something where, for many of you, this could be a Gemini that you're dealing with, but you've been trying to get this person's attention. You've been trying to talk something out. You've been trying to, I'm hearing, explore an idea. Maybe you've been trying to kind of talk about moving a little bit, like moving locations. This could be something having to do with going back to school or with furthering your education in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like it has just not really been moving forward, or like this feels like specifically like another person you're dealing with who is unable or unwilling to communicate. And to communicate effectively. Because with this, we have the 9 of Wands bordering the 1st and 2nd house, and it's on its side. So for me, this is saying that the energy is either in flux or it could go either way. Excuse me. And with it being on the 1st and 2nd house, I feel like you're in this place where you're trying to determine if something is really worth the effort, right? The 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. He's been through the ringer, but he kind of like, he's all about perseverance, and he readies himself kind of for one more round, one more last battle. And I feel like, you know, when he's reversed, this is kind of throwing in the towel. And with the 1st house being the house of the self and the 2nd house being, you know, this is about our material stability. It's the things that we value, which is why it deals with our finances, our career, our material possessions, etc. As well as how we value ourselves, right? The self-value that we have. So I feel like with the 9 of Wands showing up sideways, bordering those 2 houses, you've been in this place, and this is kind of building off of the prior week's Astrocast, where you've been in this place of really trying to figure out what is valuable to you. And over the next week, I feel like you're still kind of like, the biggest thing this is gonna, especially because he's looking here, so this feels like this is in response to all this, and we're gonna get to this momentarily. But this feels like there's something where you're trying to decide if something is worth it enough to you to keep going, or if you just want to throw in the towel. And I feel like this has everything to do with like, you're really getting very clear and very serious about saying, does this honor me? So maybe somebody here with the 4 of Pentacles in the 3rd house, maybe somebody is stonewalling you and refuses to even talk about, you know, moving forward on a project, talk about an idea, because this feels like there's this desire to move the energy forward. And whoever it is you're trying to collaborate with, it's like it's not happening. They're not responding. Another thing I could see is that if somebody has been causing you a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, really upsetting your daily rhythms, just kind of like all up in your business. Just, you know, causing a lot of chaos where it doesn't need to be. I feel like you might be being encouraged to withdraw, or you might feel the need to withdraw and take some space from this person. And this is because I really feel like you're going to be in this evaluation place of like, okay, you know, does this person really honor me? Am I respecting myself by choosing to continue on with this, you know, opportunity, this partnership, this business, this that's really funny. Horn just honked as I said that. So for a lot of you, there might be something business related where you're like, you're really contemplating going off on your own separate path, or like leaving a job that you've been at for a while, just because we had the horn honking, and this is like spirit to me getting your attention, like, yep. But there's something here where you're really contemplating, especially with this 9 of Swords in the 6th house, and we'll get back to that in a moment. You're really looking at any or all of these themes and contemplating, do these value me, right? Because like, I feel like the question here is, you know, you may have come to this realization through this situation that whatever it is, it's putting you in this position between having to choose between, you know, this person, this job, this company, this, you know, school, and your self-care and self-love and self-respect. And I feel like a lot of you are trying to ascertain over the next week, is this situation making me choose between it and myself? And you're going to be kind of really coming down to a final decision point. Now, the reason I say this is because we have so much here. Let's talk about the big guns first. We have this 10 of Swords bordering the 7th and 8th house. This is the house of partnerships, and this is the house having to do with death and rebirth. And that's, you know, a gross oversimplification, but we're going to go with that for now. So for some of you, you may really be contemplating ending a relationship, or a relationship may have ended. Or it's like this energy with the 10 of Swords, excuse me, that is like, it's this energy that somebody, they took it too far. Like, it's like, we can't ever go back from this point. So where do we go from here? Because there's no going back. They've really just kind of like pushed the envelope with this thing and caused this death of the cycle in this particular partnership, right? And it's like, what I'm kind of hearing is like your worst fears are confirmed. And the reason why I say that is because the moon is very much about our subconscious and our fears. This is also very maternal energy. In addition to representing potentially Cancer and Scorpio, or excuse me, wow, Cancer and Pisces. So maybe there's Scorpio because that just came out. But also the reason why is we have the 9 of Swords over here and then the 10 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is all about stress, anxiety, insomnia, sleepless nights. It's where you're up all night and you're really just like worried. And the thing that the person on the 9 of Swords is worried about is the 10 of Swords happening, right? And I think this is almost what makes the 10 of Swords so awful, is it's like, you know, it is betrayal. It's getting stabbed in the back. It is like something is over completely, you know, finito, no rising from the dead, no resurrection. It's donezo. And I feel like part of what makes the 10 of Swords so challenging, in addition to that kind of energy, is that you've already spent so much time with the 9 of Swords worrying about it happening, right? This is where you're worrying about like worst case scenario, and then it happens. So for some of you, with this being in the 6th and 7th house, there might be somebody that you partner with at work, or you might have a business partner where you're really worried about them like betraying you in some way, shape, or form, them leaving, them, you know, utilizing finances behind your back in a way that is not, you know, not something you find acceptable. There's something where, you know, there's somebody who's supposed to be your equal, who's supposed to be your partner with the 7th house. And so if this is business related, this is somebody where you work together all the time, you see each other day in, day out. And I feel like you were operating under the guise of teamwork makes the dream work. And then this person may have either recently done something and it's coming out this week, or this week you're going to find out that like something really crummy happened, right? And I feel like, you know, this also can connect with this Ace of Swords reversed in the 10th house, right? Just because the 10th house is also a career house. So this may very well be where, because it does follow the natural sequence where it's 9 and then the 10 and the Ace of Swords, but the Ace is reversed. This might be where there is this kind of like the sense of like an almost like crippling ending, right? Where it's like so painful. You feel completely stabbed in the back after worrying about it for a really long time. The worst case scenario has happened. Like your worst fears have been kind of recognized, or they're kind of they've been kind of put out there to be dealt with. And with the Ace of Swords coming out reversed, this may have been because it's in your 10th house, and this is usually where your midheaven is. This is how groups of people see you and like talks about your reputation. This may have been something that like really damages your public reputation as well. This could be something where like it comes out very publicly. There's a scandal, there's a huge embarrassment, there's like a massive betrayal here. Another thing that I'm kind of seeing is that this situation may happen behind closed doors and the truth is not released to the public, right? So it might be like you're left holding the bag, or like you have to pretend that you and this person are still in good standing together because it's information that's not ready to be released yet. Excuse me. And this is what I feel like is triggering this reevaluation process, because that may be another thing with the Four of Pentacles in the 3rd house, is that whoever is involved in this partnership may not have told you about it. It's like it has very much this left holding the bag energy, and you can't really talk to anybody else about it. With the Ace of Swords here as well, there's a huge lack of communication. And then this is also what's triggering this moon bordering the 8th and 9th house, is that there is this deep transformation, because the 8th house can also talk about shared investments. There is this deep transformation that needs to happen, and this is a very spiritual process with the 9th house here, where there needs to be this expansion to your awareness at a spiritual level. There needs to be this reevaluation. Because the moon is always followed by the sun card, right? So there is enlightenment. There's a lot more happiness that is on its way to you. And we see the sun rising even in the background of the 10 of Swords. So even in the darkest of nights, there is still the sunrise to look forward to. But this week, I feel, is going to be a week where it really, like, it's kind of almost a rock bottom feeling. So don't freak out. It's going to be okay. It's only a week. Or, this also could, like I said, be something that's happened in the past and you're kind of like really coming to terms with it. Or you're kind of like, it's coming out now that this happened before. I do want to say again, because we have the Ace of Swords reversed and the moon is upright, the truth of this situation is not fully out yet. So this is why I feel like you're being encouraged to kind of just like sit with these feelings and process, to not make any necessarily like sudden moves, because we don't really have any cards about movement here, to just kind of hold on for a little bit, hold back and watch and observe. Because a very spiritual transformation is happening right now to shift your perspective, I feel like, about what you do and don't value, but also what you will and won't tolerate. Now, for some of you, if this is about a romantic partnership, this could be somebody you live with this 6th house energy. This also could be somebody that you are dating, but you also work with. But there is this ending to a relationship cycle with the 10 of Swords bordering the 7th house and the 8th house. So it's not only this ending to a relationship cycle, but it like triggers this full-on transformation because it borders the 8th house. I do actually want to pull kind of a card for that in this situation, because it could kind of go either way. So Spirit, what is the clarifying information you want people to know about this 10 of Swords? Because this could, this is always saying the worst is over, which is great. Okay, there's 2. Okay, cool. So what came out was Temperance reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed. So this is saying that this is the worst it's going to get. We have an ace following the 10. So there is this healing that is about to take place. There is this rebalancing that's about to take place. And there's a really beautiful beginning that's going to come in as a result. But there is something here that had to end. I want to know, because now I'm nosy here. What is this 10 of Swords like signifying? An end to what? Okay, so the Page of Swords reversed. This could be like inappropriate online communications. This could be texting somebody where it's not like appropriate. This could be somebody's exploring their curiosity about something and like not really having any regard for their partner. So like, let's say, your partner wants to go to a school that's really far away and they don't like talk to you about it first, or like, you know, or like let you know anything. This is all about communication, particularly online. And with the lack of communication here, I feel like this is something where whoever's involved in this situation, they may have been talking to somebody, or they may be talking to somebody. It's going to kind of come out this week that it's like, oh, I was talking to them about this, or, oh, I was thinking about moving here. I was thinking about doing this. There's something where they've been like kind of, you know, toying with this idea. I want to know, hang on. Yeah, okay. Wow, and the Page of Cups, yeah, okay. So I am going to put it out there, and this doesn't, you know, take it if it resonates. I feel like not only were you there offering your cup, but this feels like somebody is like flirting online with somebody. I have to be honest. It feels pretty innocent. I don't think it's gone too far, but it's inappropriate to say the least. There's something where they broke your trust in this and they know it. Yeah, Six of Pentacles came out as well. So there's something where there is not a reciprocity in terms of the communication in this relationship. So this is either coming out this week or you're dealing with it this week, right? You know, you're dealing with the emotions, you're processing. And I feel like you've known this for a while. It may have been kind of disrupting your peace of mind for quite a long time. And kind of like, you know, the sixth house is really about that mind, body, spirit connection and balance. And this may have been throwing you off for a long time. So this awareness or this truth is coming out, or this chain of events is happening. So this could be something like, you know, they say they're going to show up to something and they don't. You find out they're talking to somebody they said they weren't talking to. You know, there's something where it's like, even if you've been stressed about it, you've been having problems, you know, this person may have been kind of stonewalling before. This is taking it a bridge too far. And with the Page of Swords as well, this could also say like, they said something that was like immature and stupid, especially with the Page of Cups as well. It's like they said something that like was not emotionally mature at all. And it may have been really hurtful. Again, it's like they overstepped their bounds. It was a bridge too far. And whatever this is triggering this massive ending, because there has to be this could not continue. This was not good for your mental health. This wasn't good for your peace of mind. And as crappy as the Ten of Swords is, this had to end so you could find some peace. And I do feel like with the Moon here, this is triggering, again, huge fears coming up, or like, you know, worst case scenario, or this is like, you know, subconscious wounds and programs that are being elicited out to be dealt with. And this with the ninth house is to help you rise above that and move past that and heal it and get a higher perspective. Now with the Ace of Swords reversed in the 10th house, again, there's something to me where there's like something having to do with a part of the situation that might be public that's not coming out yet, right? So like maybe if you and somebody break up, it's like you don't tell your friends yet. There's something where this is like very much behind closed doors at this point in time. Sorry, somebody just like screeched outside my window. And I feel like this is in order for you to be able to have this time to evaluate what you want to do next. Because I have the feeling that for whatever reason, I have the feeling the situation isn't like dead ass 100% over, but there's a really difficult cycle that's like coming to a close this week. But I do feel like there's something here where, you know, you might be aware about this truth more internally, but you're not willing, like you're not able to share it with the public at this time. You're not like, you know, maybe you're learning something new about yourself, or you're making a big decision about yourself. Something about you is kind of coming up to be dealt with, like with this Moon here, something about your own feelings, your own emotions, your own subconscious is coming out for you to contemplate and integrate that information, but it's not coming out yet to the public. There's no like outward announcement yet. Yeah, and so this is, I know this sounds like a really crappy week, but this is a really important week because this is a time where there is this finale in order to start something new. And just for giggles, I'm going to pull a couple of cards because I want to leave you guys with something good. So what's something new that's going to be kind of like coming out of this as a result? Bam. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. 6 of Pentacles. I love that's also right on the 1st and 2nd house. So this is saying that whatever is coming to a close, whatever feels like a betrayal, backstabbing is bringing up a lot of fears, what have you. There is balance and healing coming in. There is reciprocity. If somebody brings you a piece of information, they confess something to you, they admit to something, this isn't meant to hurt you. This person's trying to be fair to you. And Spirit's trying to be fair to you by giving you the information you need to make the best and most empowered decisions for yourself, right? And by contemplating with this 1st and 2nd house, contemplating what you do and don't want to invest in, you're bringing greater balance back into your life, because this is what I feel like this has been robbing you of for quite some time. So that is just about everything I have. That's our week ahead. I know there's a lot of like intense stuff in there, but hang in there, guys. We're coming into the beautiful spring season, in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. We're coming into this new season. It's going to be delightful. There's a lot of wonderful things up ahead. So I am wishing you guys the best, the brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs, and I'll see you soon. Bye.